Bon Voyage TV. I'm Jared Murphy from Bon Voyage Cruises and Travel, and I'm joined as usual by Olivia Van Leeuwen.
Yeah, hi.
Welcome.
We're twins today.
I know, we're going to have to coordinate our
dress code.
costume.
Absolutely,
dress code. It's
yeah. I like
crazy.
it.
What are the chances? We really need to talk about it, but lovely pink. I look good in pink, so do you.
Yeah, thank you. So, what's been happening this week, Jared?
Well, we've been busy, and you may have seen that airfares have been ridiculously low.
Yes, I have seen. I've seen it all over, everywhere.
You wanted to travel now, don't you?
Oh yeah, great time to get over there.
Yeah, but the lowest one has been to USA, where fares have gone down as low as, or went down as low as $6.99.
Yeah, amazing.
And that was caused by, I don't know what it's caused by, competition basically.
Yeah.
And American Airlines and United Airlines fought it out at the $7.99, then $7.49, then $6.99.
Yeah.
But it's gone up a little bit, or gone back a little bit, and at the moment, as of Monday, we're looking at fares of around just under $1,100 to LA.
Yeah.
And about another $300 to get to New York. So they're still
pretty good.
they're still very low.
Yeah.
And when you think of New York particularly, just a couple of years ago it was often $2,500 to $2,700 to get to New York.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Over Christmas, over the peak times, you'll still see those high fares because those flights will be full.
Yeah.
But it's all competition, and just to give you an idea why.
Yeah.
Currently, we have 27 non-stop flights to Houston, Los Angeles and San Francisco.
A day?
Yes.
Wow.
A week, sorry.
A week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, not a day. It's a lot of planes. We also have 3 with Hawaiian through Hawaii and 6 with Fiji Airways through Fiji. When summer comes, we add another 17 flights from United and American Airlines in the peak time.
Yep.
So American Airlines going to LA and United going to San Francisco. They're going to do 10 flights a week over that Christmas, New Year period. And Air New Zealand add another 2 themselves. So it gets really busy. There's lots of seats.
Yeah.
But even we were surprised how low those fares went.
Yeah, pretty amazing. So it's a popular spot to be travelling to at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Everyone loves Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's it.
Not really, but it's not just USA. All of this year we've seen really low fares to Europe, London, and basically all the points in Europe, and that has been fueled by Qatar Airways. They've had some political problems, as you know, so they went even lower, and all the Chinese airlines are fueling that low fares, sort of anywhere from $1,300 to $1,800 on a regular basis. Yeah. And those fares, even I remember 25 years ago, we were talking about fares might go over $3,000 to Europe. Yeah. And that would put people off.
Yeah.
And there's half of what they used to be. So ridiculously low.
Yeah.
So it's good buying.
Good for the travellers, yeah.
And of course, if you want to travel, not just to Europe or USA, but we have great airfares to everywhere, and these specials are coming in and out all the time. If you see something, call us at Bon Voyage Cruises and Travel, and we'll be able to upgrade your travel arrangements and lower your fare.
So speaking about upgrades, you've recently been on the P&O ships, and there's been some changes going on within them. So tell us about all of that.
Well, over the years, P&O was a pioneer of cruising, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
We've told viewers many times. And over the last 10 years or so, P&O in Australia has grown significantly. They now have a fleet of 5 ships, and they're not new ships. We won't get brand new ships down here for quite some time, I would expect. But these ships are maybe 20 years old, and people go, oh, yeah, old ship. But if you imagine aircraft or even hotels, they're way older, and they keep them going and keep them in good nick, but they renovate constantly. And when they do a ship renovation, and I'm going to show you some video clips just to give you some idea. So P&O do their dry docks in Singapore, usually for 2 weeks, and they bring all of their crew and technicians from all over the world, a lot from Australia.
Wow.
And all the materials, carpets and cabinetry and everything is all pre-done. That's all shipped to Singapore. It's already on the dock, and then they go to work. hugely. So
Wow, so they recarpet and everything.
not just that. So if you imagine a house renovation,
Yeah.
you could do paper and paper and paint, maybe a minor renovation.
Yeah.
But these ones are generally the knocking out the wall style. So
Wow.
major renovations like you see sometimes around the streets of Auckland, where there's one little bit of the house left and then they rebuild it. Not quite to that stage, but they rebuild sections of the ship at a time
Wow.
and completely gut it and
Gosh, that
put it all back
seems
together.
just insane that you could do that in 2 weeks. They must have a lot of people on the job.
They have a lot of people. I'd hate to be in charge of the logistics.
And so what are the main areas on the ship that are being upgraded?
So the latest ship, which is Pacific Explorer, it was one of the Princess ships that joined the fleet in July. And I was lucky enough to go over to Sydney and have a look.
Cool.
So on that ship, they basically did most of the public areas. So just about everything outside your cabin.
Yep.
And in this case, they added significantly. They changed the whole funnel area. They added a huge hydroslide for the kids.
Oh, wow, cool.
And they added a number of new restaurants.
Oh, right.
There's a lovely Italian restaurant, an upmarket pizzeria
Cool, cool.
in the atrium area. And they changed the whole buffet system, which
Oh,
is across
fantastic.
P&O's fleet now. Instead of a big buffet where you just queue up, it's now more food stations. So they've got Mexican, Indonesian, burgers, you name it.
Yeah.
And you go and select your food. It's served to you, so there's health-wise that improves things as well.
Yeah, amazing.
And then you've got lots of seating areas, seating that also looks out to the sea, so it's not all internal.
Yep.
And the food is superb.
Fantastic. And so even if you've been on these ships before, they're going to be different. The cuisine's going to be different. The service is going to be different.
They're seriously upgraded.
Yeah, amazing. And so 2 weeks for that, it's just mind-boggling that you could get that sort of work done in that amount of time.
Well, they cheat a little bit because they then have to bring the ship back down to Australia, so they get another 2 weeks. But everything is on,
even
all the
still.
heavy lifting, all the heavy work's done in Singapore. Everything they need is already on the ship by then. And then they've got about another 2 weeks to finish laying carpet and doing all sorts of stuff. But when I was in Sydney for the Pacific Explorer, I still found a guy still doing a little bit of work on the last day. So
Oh, okay. So
It's
very,
full on.
very last minute. We used to go into dry dock on the yachts and we would be on dry dock for months and months. But I guess it wasn't as essential to get finished
well,
so
the owner
quickly.
probably doesn't need the yacht for a while, but
Yeah.
the ship has got a sail on
Yeah.
due date.
And I must say, we were often in Italy, and Italians quite enjoy having a little smoko break. Like every 10 minutes, you'd see them out having a cigarette.
Well, speaking of break, we'll just go to a short break.
The sun come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow
Boys can't keep up.
there'll be sun. When I'm stuck in a day that's grey and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say,
Love you heaps, sweetie.
the sun come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, I love you.
We believe every day brings new opportunities to enjoy, invent and explore. Because as Kiwis, we're always asking, where to next?
I love you tomorrow.
We're talking P&O cruises and particularly going to be talking about 2018 cruises shortly.
Yes. And I'm wondering, are all these 5 ships the same?
No, but they have similarities. There are in fact 3 different types of ships. So there's 2 lots of 2 ships that are sister ships, virtually exactly the same. And the Pacific Explorer is quite a different one, new one. But they're
Oh, yeah.
similar size,
Yeah.
and they've got similar things like the new pantry, which is the food station. And
Is
some
that
of
a
the-
pantry for guests?
Well, it's not a pantry. You can go and
Oh,
that's
I love
the
the
food
sound
station.
of that.
It's called the pantry. It's a food station place, and they all have similar restaurants. They all have a restaurant by Luke Mangan. It's a fine dining restaurant, and they all have similar furnishings. And one restaurant which is called the Waterfront, which is the main restaurant across all the ships. So there are similarities,
Yeah.
but the ships are different enough for people to like
Have
changing ship to get a bit of
variety.
variety.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds awesome. And then you still have your favourites as well that you know are always there. Because some people like that.
Some people like going on the same ship every time, which is fine.
Yeah.
So they have to vary the itineraries, of course, and we'll move on to that shortly. But next year we have the Pacific Pearl, which was a favourite for New Zealanders, has sailed off to Europe. And we now have Pacific Jewel coming later this year, and next year it's here for nearly 6 months.
Oh, great.
23 cruises out of Auckland.
Wow.
And there's a whole variety.
And later you're going to take us on a journey through some of these beautiful tropical
I'll tell you where they're
islands.
going. We've got a couple of
Fantastic.
specials. I've chosen a couple of cruises I like the look
Oh,
of.
good. We can sit here and dream and just imagine that we're there.
We can. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you what's on board Pacific Jewel.
Okay.
My name's Martin Bell, I'm the maitre d' on board, and I'm here to make sure that your food service on board is excellent. We have a variety of dining options on board. The waterfront restaurant, this is our main dining room on board. We're open for breakfast and lunch as well. And we're also open from 5:30 to 10 o'clock, and we offer you anytime dining. Now, anytime dining means whenever you want to dine, you can. We have an a la carte menu which runs throughout your whole cruise. Then on the other side, we have our speciality restaurants. We have Luke Mangan, who's a celebrity chef, and enjoy just a fantastic service, fantastic cuisine, all specially prepared and selected by Luke Mangan. Then if you like a wee bit of Asian or you want something a wee bit different, go to La Luna and you get an 8-course banquet menu. Plenty choice there, all Asian fusion. So certainly on board, a variety of options for you to try.
Those clips looked absolutely amazing. And something I know that you love to talk about is the food. So tell us about it.
Well, that's probably the area that P&O has really worked on the hardest.
Yeah.
They worked on lots of areas, but the standard of food is completely different to the old days. I just remembered I went on my first cruise nearly 38 years ago.
Wow, that's longer than I've been alive.
18th of March, 18th of March 1978.
Wow.
One of those dates that sticks in your mind.
Yeah.
But in those days, you went on your cruise ship. I went on P&O's Oriana. You went to a set meal at 5:30 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. And everyone got exactly the same food. And in those days, P&O was still very colonial, and we had lots of Indian staff and lots of Indian food. The curry night was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had all sorts of other things like island night and things like those have changed. There's no island night anymore. They have for the New Zealand cruises an all black party night. Not all blacks, but everyone wearing black.
Yeah. Yeah.
Themed. But like dining in any city around New Zealand, the whole dining experience has completely changed over recent years.
Yeah.
And you can have basic and just good wholesome food right through to fine dining.
Yeah. It sounds amazing, but then some of us would worry that we'd put on weight over this.
Not at all.
No?
Of course, for you, Olivia, we have a wonderful gym and spa facility.
Oh, okay, good. So we can eat as much as we want at night and then go work out in the
Yeah.
morning.
Well, I've been on cruises where, for say a week, I've put on maybe 2 kilos.
Oh, that's not too
Some
bad.
people do much worse than that. And I'm sure I've probably
Yeah.
done much worse than that in the past, but I didn't
Yeah.
measured. But there's good gym facilities and beauty and spa facilities, which you would love.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
massaging and
Yeah, and that's just perfect. So you can come back from an amazing holiday but actually feel good as well, as opposed to coming back and feeling like you've put on weight and you've just eaten and drunk the whole time.
And particularly if you're sailing from Auckland back to Auckland, no flying involved.
Yeah,
Hop off the ship, go home.
it's easy, stress-free. Yeah, love it.
So after the break, I'm going to just give you an idea where Pacific Jewel will be sailing from Auckland in 2018.
Boys, here for the landing. Blending.
Pretty knackered, eh? Might have to sit down for a bit, I think.
Well, it seems I'm flying solo this year. I can do this. See, that is a lovely nose. That finish is a bit short. Ooh, that's got some zing. To me, this is perfect. This is exactly what we want. You guys? Yeah, happy. Just moving on to the rosé now. Might try. Nice color. This contains booze. That could, honestly, enough of this could. Everyone happy with this? Great, we'll move on. Just trying the Shiraz now. Ooh, that is lovely. You could drown in that. I think we've got a winner. Prosecco, anyone? Be rude not to. Oh, that happy sound. You're missing out. Not too floral, not too sweet. Clean, crisp. Yeah, we are definitely including a Prosecco this year. Yeah, mad not to. Cheers. See you, boys. Bye.
Graham.
So, tell us where these cruises are going.
Well, I came prepared. I brought a little list, so forgive me
done.
for reading, but it's I won't forget anything then. So next year with Pacific Jewel, which is getting here in March, it starts with a Kiwi Explorer cruise, which is one of our specials coming up shortly. That's 10 nights just around New Zealand, Auckland back to Auckland. Then there's a number of shorter cruises. Easter, there's a 4-day cruise from Auckland to Napier, and then it goes off around the Pacific. So there's cruises from 8 to 14 nights, 15 nights around the Pacific. Wonderful cruises there. And there's 2 or 3 little comedy cruises.
Oh, yeah.
There's a food and wine cruise, a Tongan Discovery, and it goes right through to August the 26th with a comedy cruise that ends in Brisbane.
And so what do you mean by comedy cruise? Are there comedians on board?
The comedy cruise is a cross between, say, the Auckland Comedy Festival and a cruise. So they have
cool.
stand-up acts, they've got all sorts of comedy acts. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A few years ago when I was on one of these ships, I ran into the guy in the cabin next to me, and he happened to be Kim's husband off Kath and Kim.
Oh, funny.
And actually, he is way better as a stand-up comedian than he is in that show. So,
Oh, wow.
so there's some good acts,
Yeah.
and those are a lot of fun. So,
So
those are 3 nights.
Yeah, awesome, awesome.
But don't forget, it's not just the cruises out of Auckland. P&O have got 5 ships, so they are sailing out of Auckland, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. They have some cruises out of Cairns and the odd one out of Adelaide. So they've got a pretty full-on season.
Yeah.
And all of those are on our website, bonvoyage.co.nz.
So I'm sure all our viewers are waiting to hear the special Gerard deal of the week.
Oh, I've got sort of several deals all in one.
Oh, yay.
P&O have got a great sale at the moment, $250 cash back. So you book your cruise. When you get back, they send you a Visa card with $250.
Oh, cool. Little present.
Yeah, so it helps
That's
you pay all
lovely.
your bills. But
Yeah.
nice bit of spending money after you've spent all your money.
Oh, great.
But there's 2 cruises we particularly like the look of this week, and the first one we mentioned earlier, which is the Pacific Jewel, Auckland back to Auckland around New Zealand. This is very rare because normally the Auckland cruises, if we have them, include Australia as well. So there's no Tasman crossing. This is all New Zealand ports for 10 nights on the 21st of March. It's sold really well already, but we still have quite a number of balcony cabins available for under $3,000.
Oh, fantastic.
The other cruise I've chosen is a cruise to Papua New Guinea.
Oh, fantastic. I was in Papua New Guinea at the start of this year and it's beautiful there. Really beautiful. And I wonder why more people don't travel there, but it's very, very expensive
Quite
to fly.
expensive flight-wise.
Especially internally to get around the islands. But I guess you've solved this with the
We have.
cruise.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Port Moresby. It's got a bad rap.
Yeah.
So this is doing sort of everything but Port Moresby. So it's a 14-night cruise out of Brisbane back to Brisbane. So this is going to places like Alatau, Madang, Wewak, Rabaul, and one I like the look of, Conflict Islands. And look at this picture, it's just beautiful. So that cruise, including flights to and from Brisbane, 2 nights accommodation in Brisbane, starts from $3,499 in an ocean view cabin. There are some inside ones, but a bit cheaper, but we don't sell a lot of inside cabins. People want to see out.
Yeah.
And balcony cabins from $4,799. And of course, both of those cruises have the $250 cashback as well.
Oh, great.
Check them out on our website, bonvoyage.co.nz, or give us a call, 0800 Bon Voyage, which is 0800 266 869. So that concludes our feature of P&O cruising for 2018. And Olivia, what do you have for us?
Oh, well, I've got a little bit of news about flying, actually. We're going
good.
from cruising to flying. So, Saudi Arabian Airlines has warned passengers about the way they dress, stating that those who are clothed in a manner that would cause discomfort or offence to other passengers could be denied boarding. The restrictions apply to women exposing legs or arms or wearing too thin or too tight clothes, and men wearing shorts exposing legs, as well as passengers who are barefoot, the airline's website states. The dress code, which has provoked outrage on social media, is referred to within a list of rules about passengers' code of conduct on the website. Saudia has yet to confirm whether these requirements apply to all passengers across all classes on the plane, from business travellers to children and babies, or whether male passengers would also be refused boarding if they wear clothes that are too thin or tight or expose their arms. It has yet to clarify how the dress code will be enforced during the flight and what might be the consequences for any passengers who remove the clothing that would expose their arms and legs during their flight.
I'm all for this.
Oh my gosh.
It's not just for women, because they also say men wearing shorts exposing legs.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
No, there's nothing worse than that. Generally, the standards on planes have gone down so much. There's nothing, and they've got another one, you're not allowed to be barefoot, and I'm all for that. There's nothing worse than paying a few dollars more to get your bulkhead seat to be at the front. You know, they charge for those, and then you get some guy who's there with his jandals and he's got his feet up on the wall. It's just, have a bit of class. Bring back classy travel. Good on you, Saudi.
I don't know. I think that when you're on a flight, you want to be relaxed. You know, I want to look smart, I guess. I don't want to look terrible, but I like being in my comfy, stretchy pants, and it's handy having jandals. Sometimes I even have socks and jandals because you want to have warm feet, but then you want to be able to slip on some little jandals when you go to the bathroom.
Jandals on a plane. I don't know.
Anyway, I feel like Saudi Airlines is taking it a little bit further than what we're talking
possibly
about.
are.
Now onto something completely different. Over the last few days, US President Donald Trump and Korean leader Kim Jong-un have been engaged in a heated exchange of escalating threats, leaving some Americans on edge about the range of North Korea's missiles, even if they don't know exactly where North Korea is located. North Korea is the big story of the day, if not the year, said Jimmy Kimmel on Tuesday night's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live. But what I wonder is how many Americans even know where North Korea is. To answer that important question, Kimmel sent out a crew to Los Angeles Hollywood Boulevard to give average Americans a geography pop quiz, and the results are downright cringeworthy.
And where exactly is North Korea?
It's in, as far as on the map? Up here somewhere?
And where exactly is North Korea?
I'm gonna guess somewhere near here.
That is the Middle East, I think.
Yeah, so no. Is it somewhere up here?
Ooh, that's Europe.
That is Europe. Is it over here somewhere?
Oh no, that's the Arctic.
Here?
That's Canada.
It's not over here?
Australia. We've done nothing to us.
It's frightening, isn't it?
I've seen similar things he's done before, but the two I liked on that were the one that put it just in Newfoundland in Canada, and the other one put it in California. So. No idea, Scotty.
Yeah.
So we're completely safe, really.
But to leave the show on a brighter note, we've got a beautiful picture for our viewers today.
Yes, we found this online. It's taken by a New Zealand photographer of an Air New Zealand aircraft. I think it's an Airbus A320, but to line the plane and the moon up, and it's beautiful.
It's stunning. So on that note, it's
Until
time
next
for us
time,
to go.
Bon voyage.
Bon voyage.